What's the number one reason you hate your job? My boss micromanages like you wouldn't believe. It's awful. I have kinda the opposite problem. Can't get a hold of my boss when everything is done, so I just sit around waiting. I was hired to do programming. Now I'm the office manager and get the mail, write checks, answer the phone, etc. And I'm lectured when I'm bad at it. No crap. I never said I was good at these things. I have a freaking degree in computer engineering. I'm 24 years old. The other 11 employees at my company are all in their 50s, 70s. I'm in almost the exact same situation. I'm 25 and the next youngest employee is around 45. They all think I'm some kind of tech wizard when really I just have basic computer knowledge and know how to use Google. Not being able to talk back when someone makes a ridiculous request. Dear Lord, some people freaking need, to be shown the ways of the world, but you can't freaking do it. You can't give that starving man even a grain of rice. There's no way to get a promotion, bonus or raise at the below manager level. Managers and above never seem to retire or leave, and they can get up to double their salary in bonuses. If lower level workers ask about bonuses or raises, you're told you should be happy to just have a job. I honestly believe this is where so many of our economic problems actually come from and part of the reason the middle class is disappearing. I work at a Korean restaurant. The owners do not want to hire more people even though we desperately need it. They would rather just yell at the current workers and tell us we're slow. There's about 30 tables that accommodate 4 people, and there's 2 servers per shift. I'm giving my 2 weeks notice when I go into work tonight. I am a contracted cleaner who has worked at the same company for nearly 7 years and I am on minimum wage. Asked about the possibility of a pay rise to my immediate boss. He told me if word gets back to the main manager that I want a pay rise, I would likely get fired because you're only a phone call away from being replaced and it would only take someone a week or 2 to be trained up to your level. Makes me feel so appreciated. Jesus gtfo. I work with very low functioning autistic teenagers. 2 words. Feckles mirroring. My son has Asperger's. I couldn't imagine dealing with low functioning autism. You must be a son. I hope you party hard on your time off. Make it pop. What do you mean? I dunno, but make it pop. Oh, by the way, now that I've given you a vague set of adjectives, can you have the site up and running by tomorrow morning? Every time. My favorite is I want you to make it look just like this other company's thing but different. I spend 80% of my time thinking of ways to look busy. Depending on your job title, you probably just need a clipboard, or if you're in a more senior position, then you need smartphone. Fruit Ninja looks like checking over diagrams notes. Mind games all look like sending an important email or testing a new app or something. The guy who sits next to me talks to himself all day. Tells me his progress in SimCity. I've never asked about it or do I play SimCity, and he eats a muffin with every meal as a side dish. Burger and fries? Better get a muffin. Salad for lunch? Better get a muffin. The muffins are relevant because he is on a strict weight loss diet that includes HGH and a belly belt. Oh, and he quotes Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz all day, and tells me about what happened on Real Housewives. Frick this guy. Additional story. The guy also likes to butt into conversations and offers terrible stories. One time I mentioned I have a hard time sleeping in hot weather and he interjects with, one time in the Philippines I met a lady and went back to her place. I won't say what happened because I'm a gentleman, but she had vinyl sheets. You know who has vinyl sheets? H. Thanks for telling me about the time you slept with a H. I'm sorry but I couldn't help laughing at how you said that. Muffins. That's hilarious, as an outsider, but yeah, if I was in your spot I would be hating on him too. The customers get more rude as it nears the holiday season, and a lot of my co-workers are morons. Mostly the butthole customers, though, but it's better than no job. This job would be great if it wasn't for the freaking customers. Audio engineer. The whole record it quickly, fix it later mentality of artists these days. Since recording gear has become readily available, the average person now knows, or at least think they know, at least the basics of what goes on during the recording process. People feel that they don't have to work as hard in the studio to produce an adequate performance. They think they'll save a couple bucks just laying down a quick vocal track, say it's good enough, and then expect me to auto-tune and chop it up in post to make it fit correctly. Instead, how about you just perform it correctly? I try to explain to them that it might seem quicker on their end to just do 1 or 2 takes and call it good, but it's way more work for me, and if I'm charging hourly for mixing, it's going to cost them way more money in the end. I just started a week ago, after leaving my job of 6 years. I hate feeling out of place, not knowing anyone, and not knowing all the ins and outs. I know it'll get better over time, but going from I know everyone here, and I know all of the protocols, to where am I? Who are all these people? What am I supposed to do is kinda scary. Incompetency in leadership positions. I work at a daily newspaper and our editor regularly takes untimely vacations, leaves us without content on weekends and fails to schedule properly. He then blames me, the reporter, when things go awry because of his bad planning and gives ambiguous constructive criticism that amounts to nothing but do better. Example. He wants me to do story in our community section about a canned food drive and envisions a photo of a pyramid of boxes of canned goods. Me and photographer get to assignment, realize it's impossible to stack all those cans because the door is locked. Person arrives and we get a usable photo and story after adjusting on the fly. He yells at us because he planned something from a phone with someone who had nothing to do with the canned drive and had bad information. I get blamed, explain problem, and he says, "We just all need to pitch in to make things easier." Like, what? This reminds me of one of the senior managers at my company. He loves to say we can't keep firefighting. We need to prevent problems from happening in the first place. After working with him, I now refer to him privately as the company's chief arsonist. I work at Dong Sporting Goods. I have heard hundreds of dong jokes from my friends and they are always the same. Hey, you like dongs? Haha, you work with dongs, right? Haha, number. Shut the frick up, you're not funny or original. It's okay, I used to work for Cox, comma. I don't hate my job, I just hate having to have one. I work in the music business. I don't hate my job at all. I do however hate the utter incompetence of the vast majority of people who also work in this industry. It's mainly because a lot of people get hired purely on the way they look without any regard as to whether they can actually do the freaking job or not. The people on the technical side are fine. The people on the promotion, PR, organization, management and client service side are worse than useless. I wonder some days how this industry actually survives at all. I don't think this is limited to the music industry. I work on computers all day. Maybe like once every other day someone will talk to me for less than a minute. It's awful. I work in an emergency room, and the people I work with are lazy and not proactive, and it leads to prolonged stays for people for no reason. Having to do someone else's job and not getting credit for it. I do absolutely nothing and get paid for it. More like 95% nothing, but still a blessing at first, but I'm not gaining anything out of it besides money. Certainly not a career. What did you do at work today? Surfed Reddit. What do you put on a resume? A bunch of lies. Interviews for a different job? Name a time where you had a problem and how did you resolve it? Make up some bull's answer and or exaggerate and hope they buy it. I'm writing this at work right now. What I wouldn't do for some worthwhile work. One really good thing is I can apply to jobs while at work. Name a time where you had a problem. Reddit was down. And how did you resolve it? I clicked refresh. It is not the job I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I fuel planes for people who have more money than I could possibly dream of. They treat me like crap while I'm out in the heat, cold, rain, wind, whatever. The pay is terrible, the benefits are crap, but I have some pretty awesome coworkers. When I buy my private jet I will remember this, and give you a free ride anywhere you want. May never happen. Talking to truck drivers. Nothing like talking to someone who you are not allowed to hang up on, that has nothing to do for the next 14 hours but be about everything they think is wrong with society, government, their baby mama, or their boss. Truckers get lonely. They need someone to talk to. Someone should set up a 1-900 number to just chat with truckers. Number 1 reason I hate my job is also the number 1 reason I love my job. I get to procrastinate 95% of the time. I could do a week's worth of work before lunch on Monday. It sounds great being able to slack off, but it gets old quick. Ambiguous office politics. Office politics and work politics, in general, are the worst. I work with grown men in their 40s 50s who be and complain about everything as if they were teenage girls. It's weird, but it pays good. You have been visited by the party pug. He just wants you to celebrate with him. Comment woohoo to celebrate with the party pug. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.